hate.
Across Gallatin County, here in Bozeman included, you'll see them now hiring signs. But why are there so many more than usual?
And you may want to call it a necessary inconvenience. Another Bozeman construction project about to begin, and yes, it will mean even more road closures. Coming up, we'll show you when, and we'll show you where.
Yay, I love obstacle courses.
That's so much fun out there.
At least we are keeping you informed of where to
That's
go.
correct.
That'll be happening in Matt's
Download the
road
map.
report as well. Yes. Now, according to workforce leaders across Gallatin County, there are now more hiring signs out there than ever before.
MTN's Cody Boyer dives into the issue to explain why.
We're always looking for good people, especially as school season rolls around.
From chains to locally owned businesses, many are starting to have something in common. Signs like this one. But with places like downtown Bozeman always drawing in more people, restaurants like 5 on Black don't let it slow them down.
We've got some people coming in from some of our other remote locations like our Missoula stores, really just to show people how things are done.
To them, this sign is a sign of its own.
There's an issue with service jobs in Bozeman where everyone really just wants to dive right into their specialty with MSU right down the street. And you can feel it at all service positions, not just restaurants.
It isn't just the service industry, it's across the board.
Bozeman Area Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Daryl Schlem has been watching the numbers or lack thereof closely.
We looked at 3 different things that are affecting our workforce as a whole. One is workforce housing, one is going to be quality daycare, and the other is adequate transportation.
A 3-tiered stool of issues.
You could try to solve one and say, well, we can build more affordable apartments, more workforce housing, more workforce homes, but that still doesn't bring in the availability currently in our community.
I've only spent a few minutes here on Indeed, a popular site for everyone to go to looking for jobs, including in this area here in Bozeman, and I'm already on page 83. There's already been hundreds of jobs open, and the list goes well above 2,000.
When you look at workforce housing, it's about how to afford it.
Roughly 30% of your income would go toward your housing. Bozeman right now, we're pushing 40 to 50%.
Then daycare services, both in quantity and quality.
Quality daycare is running almost 30 to 40% of wages that are there, and if you take housing and daycare, you're almost at 60% of what you would take home.
On top of that, when it comes to getting new employees, the times are a-changing there too.
College kids don't work today like they used to. As college continues to be more expensive, parents that are paying out-of-state tuition want to get their kids into school, focus on school.
As for those still looking to hire, like 5 on Black, they keep trucking.
We need more people that are just willing to roll up their sleeves and do something they may not have majored in.
In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Now, Daryl Schlem says the Chamber recent study shows that it will take more than the business community to solve what he calls an opportunity. He says filling open positions with new employees will take an effort from everyone. I have to agree with that as well. It's going to be a community effort to make that.
Especially the people filling those jobs.
That's correct.
Yep, certainly.
Yep.
Matt joins us now. We are now well into fall, it feels like.
Certainly when you look at the forecast, you're going, oh, great, winter's right around the corner.
Yeah. But then we're going to have a beautiful October.
And then you live in Southwest Montana, and winter's always right around
That's
the corner.
exactly
No matter what month of the calendar it is.
Absolutely true, yes.
Temperatures right now across the state, 40s and 50s. You look at our cloud cover mixing in there. There's a little bit of cloud cover in place right now, but our temperatures stay fairly mild again this afternoon. There's that cloud cover a little closer in. No rain showing up as of now. The wind is going to be our biggest issue today. Daytime highs into the low and mid 60s with wind gusts between 20 and 30 miles an hour. We'll, of course, take a deep look into the forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you for that, Matt. Our top local story for you now. A Colorado man convicted of killing someone while driving drunk gets caught driving drunk here in Gallatin County.
A man appeared in Gallatin County Justice Court yesterday charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. And this wasn't his first offense. David Teeters arrested Saturday night after someone told police they spotted the driver of a vehicle throwing a beer can from the window just off Love Lane.
According to court documents, Teeters has 3 previous DUI convictions, including 1 homicide charge aggravated by a vehicle from 2005. Teeters was also driving with a suspended license. His bail was set at $20,000.
And a Bozeman man is also in custody after a bizarre trespassing incident Sunday night. Neil Fairchild appeared in justice court yesterday facing trespassing charges, among others.
It all started around 6 o'clock Sunday evening when sheriff deputies spotted Fairchild on top of a 7-story storage container at a business in Bozeman. Fairchild finally came down from that container for a bottle of water after several failed requests from deputies. Fairchild also faces charges of resisting arrest and obstructing a peace officer.
Also, the Montana Department of Transportation preparing to start what it, along with the city of Bozeman, says is a much-needed road project in downtown Bozeman.
Once it starts, though, you will see some delays. Starting on Monday of next week, Montana Department of Transportation will dig into the Main to Oak project, which will close the stretch of the road from Rouse Avenue all the way to Peach Street.
MDT will be installing new box culverts there, as well as trimming trees, installing a new storm drain, and adjusting the water main. Altogether, the next phase aiming to begin next year. Both MDT and Bozeman city officials say the transformation will improve safety, keep the nearby Bozeman Creek healthy.
Taking into account Bozeman Creek and making sure that MDT is accommodating for that in the work is important to us.
It's the first time you hear about a project is when the orange signs pop up on the side of the road. We've failed to communicate. So the open house gives folks a chance to come in.
Now, no surprise here, a detour will be in place and 15-minute delays are expected once this project begins.
So do yourself a favor and avoid whatever
Driving.
area you can. Yes, driving altogether. Thank you. And new this morning, Montana's only Congressman, Republican Greg Gianforte, is taking aim at the U.S. House Judiciary Committee.
He chastised majority Democrats for focusing on impeachment of the president rather than on what he says are important issues facing the nation. Congressman Gianforte, who is not on the committee, appeared before the Judiciary panel on a day when any House member can testify. In a 4-minute speech, Gianforte said the panel has impeachment fever and that Democrats have been grasping at straws trying to reverse the results of the presidential election.
He says the panel should spend its time addressing more important issues, such as repairing the nation's broken immigration system.
Well, we're not even into October and flu season has already begun.
That's right. Doctors' offices, public health care centers, and a Montana mobile outreach clinic have plenty of vaccines and urge you to get vaccinated as soon as possible.
MTN's Russ Thomas has more on the flu season outlook.
The first day of fall is synonymous with cooler temperatures, the color change of autumn leaves, and more importantly, the beginning of flu season. The Missoula City County Health Department is advising everyone above 6 months old to get the flu vaccine now.
We've all gotten our flu vaccine in. We are definitely starting to vaccinate people with flu right now. The Centers for Disease Control recommends that everybody really ages 6 months and up through 105 gets vaccinated by the end of October.
The end of October is an important date to the CDC because it takes up to 2 weeks for the vaccine to fully take effect. The deeper into fall we get, the closer we are to reaching the height of cases of influenza.
The peak of flu season can vary anytime between December to February, but because of that wide variability, we just never know when cases are going to start popping up.
After a harsh flu season in 2017, which saw an unusually high number of severe cases, 2018 was much more benign. Morris says that with the strain changing from year to year, it's hard to tell how bad this season will be.
We want you to be protected ahead of time. It won't do any good if you've already been exposed and then get a flu vaccine. And I think that's when people think that it didn't work.
For the 6th straight year, healthcare providers around the state have teamed up to reach those in rural communities through the use of the Care Van. Care Van is a mobile outreach program which holds 160 clinics around the state throughout flu season to get to those who can't get to the bigger communities that provide the vaccine.
The Caravan helps our partners become mobile, and a Caravan clinic runs just like it would if you were to go into the public health office or your doctor's office.
The mobile clinic will visit Bonner, Frenchtown, and Sea Lake from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. over the next 3 days. In Missoula, Russ Thomas, MTN News.
Now, Morris says that although the vaccine is not 100% effective, those who do get the vaccine and still contract the flu will experience a much milder version of it, so it'll make your symptoms far less.
That would make a big difference for anybody.
Absolutely true.
Certainly. We do have to take a quick break. Coming up in just a moment.